Weather at the Benton County Fair, and for that matter, the Arkansas-Oklahoma State Fair. Warm and not a lot of chances of rain, Matt.
No, in fact, there's not a single cloud out there across Benton County. We got a lot of different fairs going on, and it's warm. At least you don't have to worry about thunderstorms rolling in and ruining your fair experience, but it's toasty out there. Now, I'll tell you what, once the sun does set, temperatures fall a little bit faster than some of our other heat domes that we've had throughout the middle part of the summer there, especially in parts of July and August. But it's warm. It's toasty. If you headed to the Arkansas-Oklahoma State Fair, we're in the low 90s. Fort Smith, 92. We're in the mid 80s to the north, and there's not a lot of wind, too, to really mix up the atmosphere. We're just kind of stagnant. It's just warm day after day with barely any clouds. Here's a live look at satellite and radar. You don't really see anything when you look at these weather maps. We're stuck right in the middle of this high dome pressure ridge, and it's not as large as some of the ones that we had this summer. It's smaller, but it's just centered pretty much over us. Technically, the center is right over Fort Sill, but we're close enough that we're not getting anything. You do look to the north, though. See some of these clouds and a couple of showers and thunderstorms developing across Kansas, Missouri. They try to form, but once they get closer to maybe the state line with Kansas and Oklahoma, they'll fall apart. So by the time they get even close to Arkansas, they'll be done. So anything around the high pressure ridge, you can get some rain, but not us because we're right inside this circle. So it's warm. This evening we'll fall to the 70s by 8 o'clock in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We're watching that sun. It won't set here for another 2 hours or so, just under that, and then 70s by 9 o'clock. So we got to wait a little bit while until we fall to the 70s. I think waking up tomorrow morning, much the same. Check in with meteorologist Zach Scott. He'll show you the warm 60s that we have out there. We'll head to the 80s and some 90s by the afternoon. Once again, the wind probably won't do very much throughout the day tomorrow, and if it does anything, it's out of the south, so that's just keeping us warm. Now, when you look off to the north, you do see some clouds in Missouri and north central Arkansas. That's right along the high pressure ridge, but we're just close enough to the actual high pressure system itself that we don't get the clouds, but our neighbors just to the north and back to the east, they can get maybe a few. So when you're looking at cloud chances and rain chances, nil, nothing, nothing coming at our way for a while. And a lot of it has to do with the high pressure ridge and also the jet stream. We're noticing a big jet hit the west coast. They're getting a lot of rainfall the next couple of days. You do see this pretty big dip. Hopefully that can try to push this high pressure ridge, but what it looks like for next week too is if the high pressure will try to keep this system at bay. So anytime you see these winds on the map, that's where you get cooler and wetter weather, but it looks like it's just going to stay that way for a while and just sit over the west coast while we continue to bake. So when you look at this forecast, we're sticking with upper 80s, low 90s for the foreseeable future. Even into the middle of next week, maybe a tiny cool down, but not much headed our way, at least for a while. In the River Valley, we're in the low 90s all the way through Monday with barely any clouds in the forecast, and it's warm.
If you ever wondered if meteorologists had a hard time figuring out what to say, what did you see that?
Yeah.
What? No.
Was that a wasp?
No.
Behind us back there. What took what could be 30 seconds took 3.5 minutes.
Right.
Yes. Well, our producer said you still got to go 3 minutes. So I was like, okay.
Stephen was just complaining at 4. He doesn't
He's just
know
complaining. That's
how to
right.
tell
Just
this
kidding.
story of Sunny every single day.
You notice I probably just go in a circle every 30 seconds.
Yes. You
Whatever
just,
it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Okay, Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Appreciate that.
much. Thank you. Millennials and Gen Zers